In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to write formulas to perform spreadsheet calculations. A formula is an expression that calculates the value of a cell. So basically, it'll do some math for you quicker and more efficiently in most cases than by hand or with a calculator. Notice in this tutorial, I am using Google Sheets. Formulas work the same way in Excel, so you can do them in either place. It'll be the same. Okay, let's get started. So let's say I want to calculate how much all 11 of these students spent on lunch on day one. I'm going to just total it up by using a sum formula. So listen carefully. Every time you go to write a formula, you're going to need to start with an equal sign. Using that equal sign kind of tells the spreadsheet that you're going to be using a calculation. It won't calculate without that equal sign. So always start with an equal sign. And notice here, it's kind of based on what I did, which was just type in the equal sign. It's making a suggestion. So it's kind of determining what it thinks we want to do. But I'm going to go ahead and show you how to type it in anyway, just so you get the hang of it. And I'd like you to try it that way as well. So I'm going to type an equal sign. And since I'm looking for a sum, I'm going to type the word sum. And then I want to open up my parentheses. So again, it's still predicting what it thinks we want to do. And I want to get a sum for all 11 students. So I'm going to highlight them with my cursor and then close up my parentheses. And when I hit enter, it will give me a total. Okay, so let's try that sum again for lunch on day 2. I start with my equal sign. And again, it's doing a prediction here. So let's just press that and see what happens. That looks right to me. It's going to sum up cells C3 through 13, which looks right because those are all of my cells that I want to calculate. So I'm going to go ahead and hit enter. And there we go. Works very similarly for average, median, and mode. So let's go ahead and do that quickly. See, it doesn't know what I want to do this time because I already did a sum. So I'm going to type the word average. Okay, I want to open my parentheses and I want to average up all these days. I don't want to include my total in that because then that would double everything, wouldn't it? Close my parentheses. And I now know that the average student spent $3.55 on lunch. Okay. Calculate the median the same way. Equals median. I'm going to open my parentheses. I'm going to highlight my numbers. I don't want to get the total and the average. Close up my parentheses, hit enter. Mode is going to be the same thing. I'm going to type in equals. Oh, it kind of knows what I want to do now. Mode equals, and I think it was suggesting what I wanted to calculate. I'm going to highlight that, close my parentheses, and I've got my mode. You can do subtraction as well. Let's say I wanted to take a look at student 1 and see how much more they spent on lunch on day 1 than day 2. I can come over here. Again, I want to use my equal sign. And I'm just going to go ahead and click on cell B3 because that's where my total is, and use the minus sign and click on C3 and I'm going to enter, and now I know it is $1.75. One other thing I want to point out is the difference between just typing in a number and using a formula. Right here, 250 was typed in. So if I look up here under function, it's going to tell me 2.5 was typed in. Whereas if I click on this cell, it's going to tell me I typed in equals B3 minus C3. So that'll help you out too. If you want to go back and try to remember how you wrote a particular formula, you can click on it. Or if you wrote a formula even, you can click on it and come up here and see what it was. Multiplication and division work exactly the same way. Not that I would really have a need to multiply these numbers, but just to kind of show you how that works, I would do my equal sign, of course, click my first number, Multiply is just the star key. Click on my second number, and that would be multiplication. Again, division, same thing. So my first number, and the divide by sign looks like this. It's the slash key that's right next to your number lock. And click on my second number, and I have division. So that is how you write formulas in either Google Spreadsheets or Excel.